I saw a report that DK Metcalf is working out with Russ. Aiyuk, that's all over the place right now.
I seen Aiyuk, man. I think it wasn't a podcast.
I saw some reports that said Steelers are cooling off Aiyuk because they don't really like how he's handling all this.
Because he's like all the way out there with it now.
Yeah, and I don't blame the Steelers for thinking that. It's like, all right, bro, we're gonna give up all these assets for you. Who's to say after we witnessed how you handled this 49ers situation that midway through the season, Pickens is elevating, you're not getting the ball as much as you want, like you're not going to act out. Like we just got rid of that with a Deontay Johnson.
I would agree, but this is my only...
Why are we giving up a second-round pick
rebuttal.
And paying this dude $25 million to get the same thing, even though he's better than Deontay?
But let's talk, though, Deke. If Aiyuk isn't acting like this, and the only reports we get are from the Niners, do you, me, or anybody else think that he's upset or disgruntled or wants to trade? No, because when the reports first came out, we both said the same thing. Aiyuk ain't really said anything. He been chilling on social media. He's not doing interviews. And we saw there was zero movement, zero urgency until I think when he said the whole, man, they don't want me or something like that. And then it picked back up. And then from there, it's like, all right.
He's been posting stuff on Instagram. He's been chirping a lot. Yeah.
He cleaned out the whole social media, did the follow the Steelers thing. But it was like, it still wasn't making enough noise. Now that it's making noise, it's almost like, yo, now you're making too much noise. It's that fine line.
Yeah. Because you could let us know or let the public know, let other teams know that you're disgruntled in a more business-savvy way.
Yes, but it doesn't have the
Just
same
go through
impact.
Your agent, right?
But it doesn't have the same impact, though. We've seen that. It's like the agent could leak it, the media could talk about it, but until we see that player voicing it and really being the guy that's like, yeah, I won't show up, and then not show up, that's when it's like, oh, all right, he's for real now. But when he said it back in March or whatever that was, it was like no one respected it. No one really acknowledged it. Now he got to be going crazy and posting and doing all this other stuff for it to get to this.
If you do want to directly say it then and not go through the agent, you could just say, I'm requesting a trade, though. You don't have to. Like he's going the extra mile with it to get the attention.
But I feel like he has to, though. Because if it's no attention, no one's going to do it.
Who's it for?
To put the pressure on the organization?
Obviously, it's entertaining for the fans and public consumption and stuff, but I don't think teams view that like in this positive light.
It's not supposed to be positive for the Niners. It's supposed to put pressure on the Niners.
No, but that's what I'm saying for his next team, though, too.
True.
You see that, you're like, I don't know if this is the best way to go about it.
And this is the diciness of these moves. When you're trying to get out your contract, this is the thing. So you hope that your next employer looks at it and says he's doing what he has to do to get out of this deal, not this is who this guy is from a character standpoint. Because body of work, we haven't heard Aiyuk ever be a locker room cancer, ever go against the organization up until this.
Yeah, maybe if you trade for him, you give him the Kyler Murray treatment, you put something in his contract, like you got to delete your socials.
Kyler was on that no Call of Duty, bro. He's like, you got to study, man. You tripping.
And then, though, what was it? I think it was the last day or two. People are saying that Jaden Daniels was with Aiyuk in the meeting.
Oh, yeah, I did see that, yeah.
But they're running with it. They're taking what Ryan Clark said and just...
What was that? What happened?
They're going off the rails with it because I think what Ryan Clark was talking about was him meeting with Aiyuk for a Pivot podcast.
Okay.
It wasn't Aiyuk meeting with the 49ers, and Aiyuk had Jaden Daniels with him at the 49ers meeting. Like, that's just ridiculous. That's not happening. There's no shot in hell that's happening.
Boss, like, yo, I'm out of here. You doing it my way, I'm going. Nah, he went on that.
No, I think it was Aiyuk visiting with... I think there's going to be an Aiyuk Pivot podcast coming out here soon, but I think Jaden Daniels was with Aiyuk for that. That's what Brian Clark was trying to say.
And they both what?
Arizona State.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's the connection between them?
Yeah. So maybe the Commanders are a new team. I don't know if Ayuk's trying to send a subtle message with that, having Daniels around. Or they're just friends. What do you take from it? I don't think it's nothing. Maybe it's something. I don't think it's everything.
Is it enough, though?
I'm just saying, if I'm the Steelers, I think I go off of that report from last week where they said they cooled off the Aiyuk stuff a little bit. Like, they're still interested, but they're not going to go out of their way. And then even hearing about Daniels being there, and maybe that shows that Aiyuk wants to play with the Commanders. Like, Yeah, I'm not going out of my way. Like, you combine all this stuff. We got our number, and if it's not that, it is what it is.
Okay. I'm not against that thought process. I just simply look at it as if we do take that approach and we do not get a receiver outside of what we currently have, are we okay with that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out.
That's my only thing. I'm like,
Trade for Cortland Sutton.
you see what I'm saying? But Cortland Sutton is a very different conversation than Aiyuk. And Aiyuk is different than DK. That's all. I'm just like, if we gonna take that approach, man, what's the collateral that could come with that?
I've said many times, I think we can rock with this receiver core. Someone's just going to have to step up. Is what it is. If it doesn't happen a few weeks into the season, like, I'm not going to be completely shocked.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to be completely shocked or anything that we might still be looking for a wide receiver too. But I think that's still going to be out there, though.
I'm just wondering, like
Cortland
is
Sutton,
that worth it more than I'm so nervous that Brandon Aiyuk is going to be tripping here? Because, like, to me, I'm saying to myself, bro, this is a dude that just wants to get out of a situation where he realizes that ownership controls you and you don't have a voice without having to go crazy to get them to do anything. And I think our situation is different if he's coming here, because he wouldn't be feeling like that. He would be freed, so to speak, along with the new contract.
So. Yeah,
that's kind of how I look at it. Because, like, I don't.
And how much does he want to
him
stick to that $30 million number?
The 30 got to come off of that. Though. We got to come off of that
number that the 49. I think the Niners were offering 25 or 26. I think that'd be fair.
That's real.
Like,
that's
if we offered him the same thing, does that hit different for him on a new team?
Low key, I think it could. I think you could sell it to him like that. And it's like, yo, there you and Debo are kind of, contemporaries, but he's the big dog. Here you got age over GP, and you've already are further along in your development. Now, we definitely think that GP will catch you and surpass you sooner rather than later. But you at least even get to get that feeling of being the big fish here. You don't feel like that in San Fran right now.
Listen, if we get Aiyuk, I'm going to be pumped. I'm not even in front. I'll be pumped. Yeah. But I think Con just needs to keep doing what Con's doing. I think that's my advice. That's my approach right now. Like,
Con's shooting, though. Con's shooting.
I ain't stressing about it.
Yeah, Con's shooting. Con outside.
Like, let's sit back, see if this gets worse. Can we get Aiyuk for the number that we want?
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not going out of my. I don't want to get into a bidding war though with like a Commanders.
I'm with you on that. No bidding war. Yeah.
None of that stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be turning my nose up at him like, oh, you making all this noise on social media, and that be the reason. I'm cool. I don't want to do the bidding war either, but like his social media and the way that he's like voicing his displeasure, based on how we've seen this kind of like transition with receivers and just players in general now, I'm like, yo, that's kind of like the status quo. Like, all right, you got to go crazy. Then after that, you got to like miss a meeting, miss a practice or two to really convince them. So I'm like, he's doing his due diligence. Hey, remember, even Cam Hayward didn't show up to some OTAs. Remember that? Now, he ended up going afterwards, but he did it at one point. So if Killer Cam, the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the whole league, could do it, just saying.
Well, when you saw how people reacted to some of Cam's antics,
it got loud, right? Yeah. He said,
I don't think anyone's saying Cam's been doing it great this offseason.
But nobody believed him, though. Nobody even believed that he would have wanted anything unless he would have, did what he did. Now I think we all agree, like, oh, this is a little bit. I don't know how serious, but it was serious enough.
Right.
I just think Aiyuk was like, yo, I don't have that luxury. I'm gonna show back up. He's like, no, I gotta put my statement out there and hold it.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do because he's just gonna be getting fined.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has the best of leverage in the situation. Mm-mm. Now, I don't think the 49ers want to be dealing with anything toxic in the locker room though either. So that's why I think Ayuk's gonna get traded. I actually do.
Well, you see how they've even moved drafting free agency-wise. Drafting free agency-wise, they've brought in the pieces that they need to kind of offset the loss of Aiyuk, whether it's via trade or him sitting out.
Yep. Can we get him for a third now, maybe?
A third? Shoot, I want him less than that. I say, well, we got Fields for a 6, right? Like, what's up with this fifth? Can I get it for a conditional? Huh? I gotta sign him anyways.
Joe Gerbish, Deke looks like, to me, he's finna plant something in my car and take me away with the body cam off. Much makes my favorite rappers look broke the way he dripped out.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want no problems with nobody, man. I just be over here just trying to live a little bit, but salute you, though, all right? You gotta be careful with these rappers, man. They be taking each other out, bro. I don't want to get popped for that.
Brandon Keene, I've come to terms they aren't trading for a top receiver.
Don't come to terms just yet. Oh, I ain't even seen this
something
text.
we
I'm
don't
tripping.
much.
No, I'm just in the sense, you've already seen the reports. Omar is still active. He's still been doing certain things. He's trying. He's trying to figure out what's going to go on. He's on the phone. We know this with Omar. Omar ain't a dude that's sitting on his hands, man. But at the same time, what I do like is he's not just settling for whatever the deal is. Because let's be real. If Aiyuk wants 30 mil, it's not a lot of teams that are going to be, busting out the door to pay him 30. If we wanted to just get him, we could buy, we'll get him and pay him 30 mil. Now, is that a great situation? Heck no. And we would both be feeling like, we want him, but we ain't want him that bad. And I just think for Omar, he's patient with it. We saw it work with Russ. We seen it work with Fields. I'm just like, how can we keep this? Because if it is, then I think he'll find the best deal possible to get him. Or he might be eyeing that DK trade.
Okay.
I would much rather be the DK one, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, DK would be my top trade target.
Now, if Aiyuk is,
we said that
if Aiyuk is trying to get 30, what you got to do for DK though?
Well, he's
because we know he has a contract.
He's got that $25 million for this year, next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just got to see what energy he's on.
Yeah, because I'm like, if Aiyuk is talking 30,
yeah, DK deserves close to 30.
If both are available, it's like, you deserve 30 way more than you deserve 30.
Right. He's not too far off his market value right now and what his contract is. If it is like probably realistically around 28, 29, that's probably what DK deserves. He's at 25, so if he ain't stressing about it, then all's well, all's perfect. That's why.
If he ain't stressed, we good.
I think it's a perfect trade. Then you got DK for these next 2 years. You can see how things work out with him and Pickens and just this whole offense. Like, you're not committed to him for 4 years plus.
But I feel like for him to not be tripping though,
situate your offense however in these off seasons to come.
But if he's not tripping, why would he move? Why would they move him out of Seattle? That's
I don't know.
I think like the only way that they're gonna move him out of Seattle
tank mode
is if he's tripped. But they still got pieces out there, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
New regime kind of though.
Yeah, that's true. How they feel about Geno? That's the real question. Because if they think Geno can keep going, then they feel like they still. I mean, because it was a game out last year. They would have been to the postseason. They, that was the Mason game.
Yeah. Russ and DK were working out. I don't think I like that. I don't think that says much, but
it doesn't. But I like it though.
Doesn't hurt for the Steelers potentially getting DK.
Because if you're a receiver, you want to get that work with your guy, and if that's your guy, I mean, come on, man, you fly over the world to work with him.
Yeah, I think DK's more Russ's guy than Geno's.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Or Russ is more of a, DK's guy than
Yeah.
Geno. However you want to say it.
Right. I mean, because what? Russ and DK had,
3 years.
3 together.
DK's first 3 years.
3 together. And then this will be going on 2 with Geno?
Yeah.
No, this is going on 3 with Geno.
I think
Geno's been up there for 2 already. They wrote him off. He didn't right back. Then he had the new contract. So this will be coming up on year 3 with Geno.
No.
No?
It was...
that was all the same year? They wrote him off and didn't right back, and he got the contract?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
Well, he was chilling. No, he was... So, okay, maybe actually like 2.5.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Russ got hurt, and Geno came in.
And Geno came in,
yeah. For I don't know how many games, 4 or 5 games, and what was it, 2021. Yeah, so
2022.
DK's been in 5 years. The first 3 were mainly
Russ. Got you.
Geno a little bit, and then the last 2 were all Geno.
Respect.
So I guess it's almost an even split with the 2. Yeah, he's got good numbers with Geno.
Which ones look better though?
He has his peak season with Russ, 1,300 and 10 touchdowns. So with the 3 with Russ, 2019 to 2021, he's basically averaging like 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Man, bring him back with Russ, man. What's up?
And these last two with Geno, it's 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know him and Russ are talking about linking up, bro. You know they talking about it. Hey, bro, we could be doing this at Pittsburgh. You know that, right? Hey, brother, you know I got you, man. Hey, I got you. I'm working on it. Let me talk to the guy real quick.
Yeah, what's the vibe out there in Seattle? Pete Carroll's not there anymore.
Come on,
It's
man.
different, right?
It's not as fun anymore. Pete,
Come over
sure,
here. We're
yeah.
bringing back those old Seattle vibes here in Pittsburgh.
Come on, man. You can feel it. He's like, yo, Coach T is just like Pete Carroll. Way cool. Just like him. You'll love him.